So what if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is something you're holding on to? Old beliefs, toxic relationships, fears, something. So this is part 3 of Kickstart Your Life Audit. So today we're going to look at those overcoming barrier things, the things that stand in our way, the mental and emotional clutter that's preventing us from growing and having whatever success means to us, but having success. Letting go means we make space for the bold, beautiful, and brave self that we're meant to be. So we're going to look at 3 questions. What are you holding on to that needs letting go of? Yes, let go of your comfort blanket. Who is the awesome, brave, and beautiful self that you have been avoiding? And are you setting ego or spiritual goals? So let's dive into this first question. What are you holding on to? What are you holding on to that needs letting go of? Now, we hold on to all kinds of things and they become a bit like a heavy burden that prevents us from living our best lives. This can come from past traumas, negative beliefs, grudges, bitterness, unhealthy relationships, or even holding on to material possessions. Yes, I do love a good declutter, but holding them on can weigh you down, limit your potential, and prevent you from being fully present in the present moment. So what we're going to do is explore this letting go thing. So the first thing we can let go of is this stuff in here, the garbage that sits in our heads, and that's our thoughts and our emotions. And that's just about being more aware that this stuff is going on, paying attention to our inner dialogue and feelings that come up in different situations. So, stuff is always going to trigger us, but holding on to something can manifest in negative thoughts, such as self-doubt, low self-esteem and self-worth, fear, even the demon anger. Although I don't actually think that anger occasionally is bad. So becoming aware of these thoughts and emotions can help you to identify what you're holding on to and let you start to think of what can we do about those things. And then it's questioning your beliefs, because our beliefs shape our perceptions and our actions. And if they are not good beliefs or they limit us in some way, that really stunts our potential. So we might hold a strong belief that we're not good enough, we're not worthy of love or success. And, been there, got the t-shirt, I'll hold my hand up to that. And if we question these beliefs, we can challenge them and ask, how are they serving us? Can we let them go? The answer is yes. I know they're there to keep us safe, but safe from what? Safe from, rocking our best lives? What? Another step is to confront trauma and experiences that still impact you. This is not easy. Again, been there, been there, done it, got the t-shirt. And even when we think we've healed something, it can come up and bite us on the bum. So I recently did something called heart healing. I was a case study for a friend of mine. I definitely thought I'd let go of something, and oh my Lord, you should have heard what I said. The stuff that came up that I was still holding on to. And I have to say, I'm pleased that I did, because in those revelations, I was able to step back and go, right, there's something else I need to deal with. So if we can understand how these things affect us, affect our lives, we can begin to heal and let go. Like I said, it's not an easy process. I have done so much healing, and that's why I journal so much. But even though we think we've healed and stuff does come up to bite us on our bum. It's recognizing that they're meant to come up in that moment and then finding a way through it. It's really important to let go of grudges and resentment. All that horrible bitterness can sit in our body and cause so much harm to us on both an emotional and on a physical level. You know, it's draining, it drags our energy down. So if we can let go of those things and focus on the present moment, reframe them. Yes, it does take time. All of this letting go stuff ain't easy, and it will take time. The other thing to do is to let go of unhealthy relationships. That includes friends, family, romantic partners. I've picked on a whole load of really difficult things. But if the relationship no longer serves us, it's important to recognize that and then find a way to let it go, to walk away, to be surrounded by people who love and support us. It is difficult, but it is absolutely necessary. I'll let you ponder how you might do that. I haven't been, in the past, I haven't been very good. And what I do now is my tolerance level has got shorter and shorter and shorter. And I do just walk away. Just walk away. So my final question, who is that awesome, beautiful, brave self that you have been avoiding? You know, it's you. You know, go and look in the mirror. It is you. We hide our most powerful selves because we fear we're going to get judged, rejected, and we end up feeling not good enough. Ain't that true? That is so true. And, you know, we might feel that we're not worthy of love and acceptance and success. And as a result, what we might do is be very guarded. We might show up as a smaller version of ourselves. We won't demonstrate our talents, our strengths, our passions, our dreams, our visions, our aspirations. And it's bloody frustrating. And it's not a very fulfilling way to live. Again, what does it do? It stops us reaching our full potential. Now, there's lots of reasons why. We've experienced failure and rejection in the past. We've experienced people who haven't supported us. And it's almost like, you know, we've got this script that says, if you do that, you're gonna fail. So we live with that negative self-talk and those limiting beliefs. Another reason, and this is very, very big, we fear success. It's not about fearing failure. It's about fearing what will happen if we take that risk, step out of our comfort zone and go for it. And you might be afraid of responsibility and the changes that come with success, because they will, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, whatever reason that you are hiding your most beautiful, powerful self, it's this thing about awareness and recognizing that this is not how to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. Life is meant to feel like it's got some meaning and purpose. But if we show up as our best self, no matter how scary it is, we can achieve our goals, we can live our passions, we can create meaningful lives and positively impact the world. So how do we do it? Well, the first step is to be honest. You know, go and get that journal. Go and write about who we truly are, you know, who we will be if we truly accepted ourselves for who we are. And that means willing to look at all those gremlins. Like for example, I hid this deeply spiritual side of me for years and years and years, despite at a young age doing all kind, you know, I did a 2-year crystal therapy. I've done all kinds of Reiki and healing. I've gone to different kinds of psychic awareness classes, and I kept it hidden. And okay, I was in corporate life, but I hid that side of me from myself and for other people for years and years and years. And It's willing to be vulnerable and have people who poo you. Who cares? You know, these days, I truly don't care. If I say something and someone scoffs, then they scoff. That's them. So, you know, we have to be willing to be vulnerable, to open ourselves up to the opportunities that will come when we do that. And we will become more resilient the more we do the stuff that really brings us purpose and meaning. But, you know, you've got to surround yourself with people who love you, who will support you, who will lift you up and encourage you to be your best self. So important. We need those buddies. Okay, the final question in this little section is, are we setting ego goals or are we setting spiritual goals? So they're very different. And, you know, ego goals are those that help us to boost our self-esteem and our self-worth. And they're often centered around the external. So that's about validation, recognition, fame, power, wealth, all of those things. And while in themselves, that's not such a bad thing. We do need to set goals and we do need to go for things, but we also need to think about those spiritual goals that help us to deepen our sense of connection and purpose and find inner peace and fulfillment. So they're often centered around, you know, personal growth, self-discovery, mindfulness, compassion, kindness, self-acceptance. So if we don't balance these things and we become, say, too focused on ego goals, we forego finding that deep inner meaning. So ego goals can also have a deeper spiritual meaning. You know, for example, if you have a goal to get a bigger house in a better area, it might be that you're planning on a bigger family, or you've got a bigger family and you want to be able to afford to move them to a better area and a better school. That is fantastic. Yeah. But like I say, spiritual goals are driven by this deeper sense of purpose and connection. And these goals, like I say, are focused on personal growth and self-discovery, and they help us to become more kind of centered and grounded in ourselves. So it's not about choosing one or the other, because I've said, you know, ego goals can have a deeper sense of meaning and purpose because you're doing it from a really, you know, really good place. But we need a balance. We need a balance between the ego and the spiritual goals. And we need to think about how when we create them and we've got that balance, how do we know that they're balanced? Now, ego goals are super motivating. We want to sell this many things by then to get this money to do that. And they can help us to achieve some great things. But please, please, please think about those goals that bring you inner peace and fulfillment. For me, I'm always looking for the deeper meaning. So when you set ego goals, you'll have heard of SMART. You know, just break everything down into little chunks and manageable steps and be realistic about challenging them and making sure that they are actually achievable. Now, when you're doing your spiritual goals, it's about getting in touch with your values and beliefs. And that might be as simple as setting aside time to journal, meditate, read books, maybe articles, stuff on YouTube, podcasts, things that inspire you. It can also be really super helpful to think about on both sets of goals, really where you want to focus. So put your focus on those things that are going to help you achieve what is right for you and your life. So thank you. That was part 3 of the Kickstart Your Life Audit. Again, three massive questions. You can find me at excuse me. You can find me at daledarley.com. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell.